Hi Jeff, you're presenting a poster here at HPLC Conference. What is it about and why is this topic particularly relevant right now?
Yeah, so we've recently improved the micropack columns in terms of connectivity. So we have new and better connectivity on them, and we wanted to test actually what the impact would be for relatively high throughput separations, given the fact that these are long columns. So that's basically what we investigated, and also actually the compatibility with the recently introduced tandem Vanquish Neo system. So see how that works out and what we can get for high throughput proteomics applications with optimal instrument productivity. So the main research question was actually what flow rate would be the best for which gradient length. So typically in proteomics they do samples per day, as this is a measure of how many samples can I process in one day. And so actually we found out that running at somewhat higher flow rates than conventional Nano LC, we can actually get elution much faster, and it actually also gives us higher numbers, even though you would think that due to limited or decreased ionization efficiency it would be less. We see that we can have the highest throughput at 1 microliter per minute and also have the highest numbers for bottom-up proteomics applications.
And is there anything in your research that surprised you or stood out as a key insight?
What really stood out is the fact that even though we have been operating these columns in a column compartment with a switching valve post-column, that the difference in peak width was actually very limited if we operate at flow rates of 1 microliter and higher. So actually for lower flow rates, yeah, the impact is huge, but at 1 microliter it's only 40%, and the numbers of proteins that we can get is actually barely any different as from what we get if we directly couple this column onto the ionization source.
And how could your findings be useful for others in the field or even in real-world applications?
Yeah, so for core facilities who are actually running day-to-day a lot of and large sample cohorts, this is very useful, as for these very performance separations they often have instrument productivities of about 70 to 80%, and with the tandem workflow and now actually putting the columns in the column compartment together, you can get up to 95% instrument productivity at relatively high throughput rates. So this is giving you up to 50 samples per day through throughput in the workflow. So typically for clinical samples like plasma proteomics or something, this might be a very useful workflow.